definitely got to work out today, man. I took 3 days off from working out, and now it's time to go back. We took a little vacation. We let the body heal and shit like that. But this is a short video, man. This is about 15 minutes long. You know, nobody cares about a man unless he's providing something. You know, nobody gives a fuck about you unless you're providing. Yes. Because look, man, if I was a multi-millionaire, you think you think me and my family would be separated right now? What's up with the scripts? You know, you know, you feel what I'm saying? You know, you think I would be like separated from my family right now? Nah, we'd be a close-knit family like a motherfucker, bro. My sister would be calling me all the time. Both of them. And people in my family will be kicking in doors, you know, wondering where you are and how you are. All of a sudden, they care about your well-being when you're rich. But when you ain't got nothing, bro, if you ain't provide nothing, you know, you're just not, you're not, you know, you're just not useful, man. You know, nobody wants to be associated with you. When you're losing in life, nobody cares about you, man. You know, do we, I mean, like, do we have people that are close-knit and they care about each other, whether or not, you know, they rich or whatever? Yeah, we got families out here like that. A close-knit family, poor, you know. But when you're living in a family that's not close-knit, and then all of a sudden you become rich, they kicking in doors trying to find you and see how you are, and you feel what I'm saying? You're only cared about if you're valuable in society, bro. That's why men chase that bag, because they want to feel valuable. They want to feel, you know, like they belong to something. Nobody wants to be by themselves, man. Nobody wants to be alone. I hate when motherfuckers and, you know, they coping talking about, you know, being alone it's a blessing in disguise. I'm like, man, you're a cope, bro. You're coping. You know, that's a huge cope. One giant big cope. You know, the only reason why Floyd Money Mayweather got people surrounding him is because he's worth something. You see all the guards he got? Tall ass, like overgrown security and shit. You feel me? You know, he got girlfriends, and his family members come over every now and then. You know, a close-knit family all of a sudden. But if Mayweather was worth $0, his girlfriend would leave. I'm pretty sure he still have family members come over and stuff. But, you know, most of the people around him would leave. Look at Adrian Broner. The moment he wasn't able to win anymore, everybody started disappearing from him, bro. Even Mayweather separated himself away from Adrian Broner, bro. You feel what I'm saying? He started to lose, bro. He started to not become a provider no more. You know, he started losing that provider title. You hear what I'm saying? MC Hammer too. Everybody started leaving him, man. Once he ain't producing that big old check, everybody leave, man. You feel what I'm saying? He wasn't producing no more funds, man. I guarantee, if I became rich tomorrow, I'll have family members that I ain't even talked to in years, kicking in doors, wondering how I am and stuff. I'll be like, I'm fine. But you ain't getting none of this money. You ain't been there. You know what I'm saying? Hell no, I ain't gonna share my money with people who haven't been there my whole entire life. You feel what I'm saying?
Wait.
You know? Forget all that, bro. I'm gonna share money with people who ain't been there. Like, hell no. First of all, I'm gonna be like, you know, where were you when I was down and out, when I was homeless, and where were you? I mean, I'm gonna straight up ask questions. I'm gonna be like, where were you? You ain't called me. You got my sister's number. You could have got her number from her. I mean, you could have got my number from her and shit, man. You feel what I'm saying? Then, you know, they only care about you, man, when you blow up and become the lead provider, you know? You know, you got money and stuff, people want to call you all the time. You know what I'm saying? Trying to see how you are and what you're doing. You know, you notice that women don't want to be in a relationship with a broke man unless it's Chad or Tyrone. You got to come to the table with something. And if you broke, the first thing they gonna call you what? They call you Dusty, right? They got a name for motherfuckers who are not providers, bro. Women got a name for you. It's called Dusty. That's the name they came up with. You know, I bet they sat there and was like, man, what do we call motherfuckers who ain't providers? A motherfucker who ain't got no money. I know what that name is. It's called Dusty. We gonna call him Dusty from now on. All kinds of Dusty. You know, you ain't provide nothing, you're Dusty. You know. But then, when you got money, it seems like you got a lot more respect, right? These bitches be kissing your ass and trying to butter you up all the time, all up under your wing and shit. You know, trying to get you to buy them something, trying to get you to take them shopping. You feel what I'm saying? All of a sudden, they are, you know, hunky-dory with you and shit. You know, they all hunky-dory. You know, as soon as that money start running out, they separate themselves from you, man. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, nah, this nigga's broke now. I'm leaving. There was one episode on Housewives of Atlanta that my girlfriend was watching for a long time. My Filipino girlfriend. This guy could not play football no more. He had a permanent injury. And his wife, the little Asian mixed with black girl, I forgot her name, but she was on Housewives of Atlanta. He couldn't play football no more. She divorced his ass. No joke, no lie. She said, no, I can't be in a relationship with a motherfucker ain't provide nothing. She looking for the next motherfucker who got the wallet. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if I would have blew up in the music industry, start making hits, you know, my sister and my family members will be kicking in doors, like trying to get in contact with me, bro, calling me every single day. How you doing? How are you? Oh, you doing great? Okay, that's good. Can I borrow $5,000? You know, that's what they do, bro. You know, but you ain't worth nothing, bro. The phone be empty. Ain't nobody calling you. You know what I'm saying? Some people are in that situation, man. You feel what I'm saying? Now people are calling you. Now they want to be in touch with you. That's funny, bro. Yeah, truth. It's like people only care about what you do for them. Yeah. Don't want to have anything to do with you. All fake from family, fake friends, and women. Yeah, man. Because they, you know, you gotta understand this is a material world, man. A materialistic world. I mean, they might not say it is, or they might not say it's not, but it is. You feel what I'm saying? You know, it is. You know, like I said, if I would have came up in music, those birds ate that stuff. Okay, good. They came through and ate some of the chips, and I put down walnuts and almonds down there to feed the birds, and they ate it. I'm glad they did. Like, especially as you get older, like, you know, you start losing your looks and you start to gray up and wrinkled up, you know, then you really become alone because you're old now. You get to be 60 and you totally by yourself. You know, if you ain't worth anything, bro, you're going to be by yourself. You know, but you got to be worth something for people to give a damn about you. You feel me? What's up with it, Sean Breezy? You know, you know what I'm saying? It's like you have to achieve. Like I said, time and time again, bro. If I blew up tomorrow, let's say, it don't even have to be like $100 million. It could be only a few million. I would have every single relative like calling me up. I remember when my dad had died, right? And they thought that he left something behind, you know, like a life insurance policy or something, or a life insurance thing. I think they thought he left some life insurance behind when he died. You know, I had relatives I haven't even spoke to, like come out the woodworks, bro, like contacting me, calling me. Hey, your father passed, and it just sounds like they was trying to be nice to me because they thought that Sam, my father, had left some life insurance behind for us, for me. You know, it could have been thousands of dollars, right? They didn't know how much it was, but there was some life insurance, but it wasn't a whole lot, man, because he signed up for life insurance in his 50s, bro. I'm like, that's fucking trifling. If you're gonna sign up for like life insurance, you got to do it in your early 30s or something. You know what I'm saying? But he waited until he got into his 50s to sign up for life insurance. He died in the 60s. Okay, so only 10 years, it wasn't going to be a whole lot. You know, I had every single relative, not every single relative, but a few of them, calling me up, trying to be nice to me and butter me up like a buttermilk biscuit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know, every single relative just, or a few relatives just calling me and shit. Hey, how's it doing? Remember me? I'm your auntie. And hey, Kel, you know, what's going on? What's going on? How you doing? I haven't talked to you in a long time. You know, bro, that's real. You know, um, but before then, my phone was silent like a motherfucker, bro. And when I do hit my next jackpot, I don't know when, but I will in the future. I got faith that I will. And I'm gonna ignore those phone calls. Motherfuckers calling me asking me for money. Even if, like I said, only if I had a few million people would be hitting me up for money. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, no, 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 no. Nobody's getting nothing. You know how long I was out there homeless with no place to stay? You know? No. Did you call me and even wish me happy birthday? Did you, you know, did you even send me a Valentine's card or something? You know what I'm saying? Let you know that, let me know that you're thinking about me and stuff. No, you didn't do none of that shit. That's why you should always keep your family first, because you never know when one of your family members is gonna fucking blow up and get all kinds of bag money. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you never know who's gonna blow up. That's why you always keep your family members close. So when I do blow up, I get the bread, I get the money, I'm just gonna be ignoring phone calls. Change my phone call on the regular. Change my phone number on the regular. Constantly, time and time again. I will keep fucking changing my phone number over and over again. If I hear like a long lost relative is trying to contact me or something like that, I'll just ignore it. Ignore it. What's up with it? You know, money looks status. Yeah, that's why dudes get it, man, because nobody wants to feel like a nobody, bro. Everybody wants to be a somebody, especially men. We are totally ignored if we cannot deliver, if we cannot provide anything, bro. And it gets worse as you get older, too, because you start losing your looks. And then people expect you to have a certain amount of money by the time you get a certain age. You feel what I'm saying? You start shriveling up for no reason, you know, and people ignore you, man. You just ignored. You're forgotten about. You're no longer young. You no longer have your looks to get by on anymore. You're invisible. I'm talking about when you get to be 50, 60, 70 and shit like that, and you ain't got no money, you just totally invisible to society, bro. Forgotten about. They're gonna treat you like trash. You know, this country treat old people like trash, man. That's why your family members gotta be the number one in your life, man. Cause that's all you got. You ever notice that without family, life is a lot harder because you don't got no support. I probably could have made a hit in music. I probably could have blew up, you know what I'm saying, if I had some type of support. I remember listening to like Timberland's story on how he came up. His mother and father was behind him 100%. They even bought him music equipment. Okay, they scraped up the money to buy their son music equipment. And I said, damn, my mother would never did that for me, man. My dad never did that for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Never gave me any support on whatever I did. So life was really hard coming up when you didn't have the support of your family members. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot harder. But when you got family members that stick by you and love you and want to see you succeed, life is a lot easier. You know, life is easier when you have especially if you got successful family members and stuff like that. Man, life is a lot easier. But when you surrounded by broke bum motherfuckers, man, in your family, motherfuckers who don't give a damn about you or the bag, that's when life is a lot harder, man. When you don't have support, Life is hard. My mother didn't support me on nothing. Even before she started using drugs, she didn't support me on nothing, bro, that I did. You know, she dead now, and my father's dead. But while they were alive, there was some good looking motherfuckers. I mean, good looking. There was some. Why am I saying that? There was some good for nothing motherfuckers, bro. I mean, sorry, waste of fucking goddamn space. My parents. You feel what I'm saying? You know, we don't have no successful people in our family. Everybody's broke. Everybody's dusty. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I'm the only one out here, striving to get that bag so I can become something and feel like I'm something. Because ain't nothing worse than feeling like you're nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? In our nature, we want to provide anyway. You know, that's why I stopped like dating, because I feel like I'm at the bottom. I'm 40 something years old and I should have something by now. I wasted so much time, chasing women and being at bars and clubs all the time. I stopped doing that shit, bro. Last time I went to a bar, I got kicked out. That was like 6 months ago. You know what I'm saying? You know? But nobody gives a damn about you if you're not providing anything, bro. You just ignored motherfucker. And as you get older and you start losing your looks, the wrinkles start coming in and the gray hair start coming in, it gets worse. You start slowly becoming invisible. The only way you can come back into visibility, is if you get a lot of money. Then, okay, it's okay to be old then. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Eddie Murphy, he not invisible, bro. He got money. He still got money, and you know what I'm saying. And he got fame, status. You feel what I'm saying? So he's not gonna never be forgotten about. But a nigga like me, if I don't achieve anything, eventually in society I will slowly start to become invisible. Slowly. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was younger, bro, when I was in my 20s, man, I wasn't invisible, bro. I was visible, especially to a lot of females. And I was going through them like Drano. You know what I'm saying? And then when I got to my 30s, all of a sudden I started seeing a slowdown of traffic of females coming my way. I was like, whoa, I'm losing my goddamn superpowers. Yep, you're getting older. You're aging, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get worse without money from here on out. So focus on that bag so you won't become invisible, so you won't be forgotten. You feel what I'm saying? That's what you need to do, bro. Focus on that bread. You want to become a provider, right? Some of you guys want to provide for your girlfriend or your wife. Be good to like take her out and buy her a brand new car. You want to feel like you the man and shit. You want to feel like you just, you know what I'm saying? You want to take your girlfriend out and treat her to a nice steak dinner. You know what I'm saying? Without patting your wallet down or patting your pockets down. Looking for money, struggling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be that guy. You want to take the provider role. You know what I'm saying? But as you get older, man, it becomes rougher on you, man. You get past 35 and everybody expects you to have some type of, decent income or some type of wealth. You feel what I'm saying? You're supposed to be rich by 35 or at least with a high paying career, and then they see that you're 40 and you're working at Starbucks or something like that, or you're working at a Subway, or you working at In-N-Out Burger. Then we're like, okay, this nigga done wasted a whole lot of time. And the thing is, when you get fat, you become invisible too. That's why Kelcat is always working out, bro, because because of my muscle I got right now, I'm still somewhat visible to like young females and females above. Older females around my age. I'm still somewhat visible. The moment I stop working out and I gain about 20 or 30 pounds, all of a sudden I become invisible. All of a sudden, you feel what I'm saying? So nobody likes to feel invisible, bro. It's not a good thing. Or nobody wants to feel like they're invisible. Nobody wants to be invisible. You feel what I'm saying? It's not a good thing. That's why I work out, because it's like, at least I got some type of visibility for females. You know what I'm saying? At least you know, I might be older, but my body's in shape. You know what I'm saying? I got 6-pack abs. I can, I got chest. I got arms and back. I'm visible. Like sometimes when I fly a sign, it's very hot, so I'll take off my shirt, and females are still checking out my body and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's a good feeling to be getting checked out instead of being invisible. Like one time I was flying a sign, and this female, she rolled by, bro, and she did the muscle sign. She was like, yeah. She went like this. She was she made a muscle, like she flexed her muscles, like, yeah, you buff, man. It feels good to like not be totally invisible. You feel what I'm saying? But it's crazy like that, bro. Nobody cares about you unless you're providing something. And providing a good body, that's another thing too, man. If you in shape, you're providing something for them to look at and touch and feel. You feel what I'm saying? That's another thing. That's another way to provide something. Is that you're in shape. You're in very good shape. Like muscles popping out everywhere. And see, you're providing them something to look at. You feel what I'm saying? That's like I said, that's another way that's something else you could provide. You know what I'm saying? A good body. Now it might not be money, but it's a good thing to provide. Something to look at, right? something nice to look at. So let's say, hello. Let's say Kelcat lost all his muscle and I went back to being fat again. All of a sudden, I would be completely invisible. You guys remember when I gained a gang of pounds before the pandemic around 2017, 18, me and my girlfriend had broke up, and I gained a lot more weight because I was so depressed, right? And I gained a whole lot of weight, and I was invisible while I was like overweight. Lost a 6-pack, got man boobs, because I got potential to get man boobs, man. And I even got talked about one time by my ex-girlfriend's friend and stuff. He was like, oh, he got man boobs? And then my girlfriend told me what she said, and I started hitting the gym after she said that. I ran to the motherfucking gym, bro, and I got in somewhat shape. You know what I'm saying? Then I started using steroids. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of being completely invisible, overweight. You feel what I'm saying? Then as soon as I lost that weight, all of a sudden, I became visible again. The moment I got into shape. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to be providing something one way or another, either physically or money-wise, okay? If you ain't providing physically, well, you got 6-pack abs and you got low percentage body fat, you got muscles and stuff. If you ain't providing that, then you got to be providing the wallet. Your wallet got to be fat. What's up with it, Captain Commander? Anyway, I'm about to end this live. I'll be back on to make a part 2 because I want to keep talking about this, man. Make a part 2 to this. I never thought about that. Having a muscular body, man, that's providing something too. I thought it was just money. Hello? And I thought it was just money, bro. No. Having muscles and stuff, you're providing something for them to look at. you know? So anyway, you guys have a good day, man. I'll see y'all on the next one. I gotta charge this phone because the phone is at 12% right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? You guys have a good day. I'm out. Peace.